A 2-0 lead right now for the Chicago Cubs, and we are heading to SunTrust Ballpark today to play the Atlanta Braves, and I'm feeling pretty good that we can go 3-0 in this series and, you know, keep marching on in the playoffs. Now, today we're facing Julio Teheran, who was actually pretty solid in the season despite his 16-10 record. He had a 3.02 ERA and struck out 181 people. He's going to be tough, but I feel like we can get past this dude. And it's a beautiful day here in Atlanta, and look at your boy Kendall in the NLDS, 7 for 9. That's right, out of 9 at-bats, this dude only has 2 that haven't resulted in a base hit. Kendall is on fire. So the top of the first with the runner on first base and only one out. It's a 0-0 ball game, and Kendall says, let me blow this one wide open by hitting a dribbler to the first baseman. Not exactly your best move, Kendall, and Freddie Freeman tags him out. Yeah, we got to do better in the second at-bat. Kendall's back up now. That first at-bat again was about as embarrassing as you possibly get. He was feeling good and then just dribbled it to the first baseman. And look at all of the runs scored right now. A 5-4 ball game in the top of the second. 1 runner on second base, 2 outs. What can you do for us here, Kendall? It's a curveball inside. He splits it out to right field. It's going deep. It's going back, and this one is going to be, oh, he drops it. This dude is actually going to drop it. The right fielder drops it. Kendall says, you know what? I'm going for not 1, not 2, but 3 bases on the RBI. I don't even know what you call this. Maybe a single that ends up being a triple. That dude has to feel horrible. Look at this replay again. An inside curveball. Kendall rips it to right field. Maybe there was so much sun. This dude even has on the shades. And he drops it. Close your glove, young fella. Close your glove. Now, Anthony Rizzo's up here with 2 outs. What can you do for us, Rizzo? It's a tie ball game now after that blunder. Kendall is trying to get in here, get the 6th run. And Rizzo was bunting? Really? That's the move? Kendall's going to get in to be safe. Rizzo, look at the big fella chug it down the line. Number 44 is going to be safe. What a bunt by Rizzo. That's the craziest play we've had all playoffs. Now a 9-5 ball game. What is happening? This is the most runs I have ever seen scored in my entire life this early in the ball game. This ball's going to be hit to Kendall, and that's going to be a routine ground out. Kendall says, you know what? I don't care how fast you are. His arm is that much better as we gun him out. And here comes Kendall, 0 for 2 technically. They say it's a ground out in the second inning. I don't know if they know what happened actually. It was a fly out to right field. He dropped it. We got all the way to third base, and then we ended up scoring. It's an 11-5 ball game in the top of the third. This is the most runs scored ever. Now with a 1-0 count and 1 out, we're going to try to knock this runner from second base to get our 12th run of the ball game. I'm still blown away by how many runs are being scored. All right, here we go. A full count now. Runner on second base. This one's going to be hit into the second base gap. That is going to move the runner over to third base. He's probably not going to try to score. He actually is. It's going to be a play at the plate. What a run by that dude. Moves it from second base all the way into home, and Kendall gets another RBI. What a play by Mr. King. Now Anthony Rizzo's up. The last time we saw Anthony Rizzo, he bunted us in, which I'm still blown away that he was actually safe on that one. Kendall goes in for the steal. Rizzo's going to try to go for the fake bunt, and Kendall's going to slide in at second base pretty cleanly there to get his first stolen base of the game. Now with Kendall now on second base, he has no reason to steal third base with a 7-run lead in the third inning, but you know what? Kendall says, I'm going to try to steal that one regardless, and I think he's going to be thrown out. Yeah, you were thrown out pretty easily, Kendall. As we move back on, 1 for 3 on the day. Kendall's had so many at-bats early on in the ball game. He's got that RBI, he's got that run scored. What can he do here in the top of the 5th? A 13-5 lead. I'm still blown away that we have double-digit runs scored this early in the ball game. The first pitch is a 4-seam fastball. That's way too high. With a 1-0 count now, Kendall waits for the next one with nobody on and 1 out. And this one almost hits him. What is happening? They almost drill Kendall on that play, and he's none too happy. The 2-2 count, all tied up now. Kendall's going to drill one, and that one's going to slice into right center field. An easy double here. Kendall's going to move his way in, gets the double. Honestly, if they hadn't called that one an error, which it obviously was, that would have been a single, a double, and a triple for Kendall. But still, we'll take the single and the double and the RBI we got earlier. And the last time that, you know, Kendall was on second base, he was definitely thrown out by a mile. So we're going to try and steal third base here and see if we can get in a little bit easier. Rizzo's going to drive one. That's going to go into center field. Kendall is going to score, no problem. Look at Anthony Rizzo balling out of control in the playoffs. Got to be happy with his performance. 2 for 4, the double, the single, the RBI, and the triple, which, you know what, they're not going to give it to us, but we're still going to say we got a triple in our mind. And here in the top of the 6th inning, how many runs can we possibly score? A 16-5 game, the most runs that have ever been scored, I think, in Kendall's entire career in regular innings. Here we go, Kendall, a 2-2 count. You've been here earlier in the game, and he drills this one this time. It's unfortunate hit to the third baseman. A great snag there by him. In the bottom of the 6th inning, we are witnessing a 16-5 absolute blowout. Now 1 out and nobody on. This ball's going to be a chopper. Kendall makes a great play on it, catches it exactly where he needs to be, and the first base throw is in just the right amount of time as we get another infield assist. Now moving on to the bottom of the 7th inning, there's a runner on base and 1 strike and 1 out. What can we do here? Hopefully we can get the double play. This ball's going to be hit a little bit in the hole. Kendall's going to flip it to second base. He's going to turn this one. Look at it looks like Franklin. Franklin throws it over to first base, and that is going to get us the assist that we need. Now here comes Kendall, 2 for 5, a double, a single, and RBI. Technically, again, in our minds, we have a triple somewhere in there, but we're okay with what they're calling right now. And here in the top of the 9th inning, a 17-5 game. We have our showtime. We're going to swing for the fences here. I like where this one's going. Kendall gets one. That one is going deep right center field. Can he get out of the ballpark? It's looking like it's tailing off too fast. And it's a shoestring grab right at the warning track, robbing Kendall of his home run chance. Now, Aiden Chavez, a former teammate of ours, is up to bat now here in Atlanta. What can he do? A 17-5 ball game. Barring some sort of miracle, I literally have no chance for the Atlanta Braves to come back from this one. And this ball's going to be hit over to Kendall. Kendall's going to try to get to it. Chavez is still pretty fast, if you remember correctly. And Kendall says, you know what? It doesn't matter how fast you are. No one is as fast as Kendall's arm. So that is going to seal it. The Cubs are going to walk in here with a major W. Kendall absolutely crushed it the entire game. What can you say about Kendall? But this dude was just the MVP. We're going to move on to the next series and see what Kendall King can do. After sweeping the Atlanta Braves, Kendall King and the rest of the squad are trying to walk out of here and sweep the Philadelphia Phillies in the 2023 NLCS. Now today's pitcher matchup is Chris Barrow, who didn't get a win in his first start, but was a 2.70 ERA, which is really good, and Felipe Espinosa for us, who has been one of our better pitchers all season long. And as we start the NLCS off, look at how dominant Kendall is. A 600 batting average, a couple of home runs, and a couple of RBIs. He has been balling out. Let's see if he can keep it going in the NLCS and try to get us back to the World Series. Now, bottom of the 1st inning, we have a runner on first base and 1 out. Pretty good signs for Kendall so far. The first pitch is a low 4-seam fastball, and oddly enough, Kendall didn't swing at that one. And with 1 strike so far in this at bat on him, Kendall's going to wait for the next pitch. This one's going to come in right where he wants it, and Kendall is a little bit too much underneath of that one. It's a pop up to the catcher, and that's going to be the 2nd out of the inning. Now Kendall's back up after a relatively embarrassing first at bat. Remember last game, he kind of had an embarrassing first at bat, and then he came through with a strong clutch game. Let's see if he can do it here in the NLCS game number 1. Now same situation, 1 runner on first base, but he has 2 outs this time. So here we go, bottom of the 3rd, 2 outs and a runner on first base, a 1-0 count for Kendall King. This one is right where he wants it. He rips it. That one is going back, way back. The right fielder's running out of room, and this one is going to be out of the ballpark. Ladies and gentlemen, the Sultan of Spot, the baddest man on the planet. The 2 RBI shot there for Kendall King and Barrow. Yeah, I got a feeling that ERA is going up, up, and up. Just quite a few points there as Kendall rounds 3rd for, I believe, his 3rd home run of the postseason. 376 feet on that 2-run homer by Kendall to give his squad an early 2-0 lead in Game 1 of the NLCS. Here in the top of the 5th, it's a 2-1 ball game. This ball's going to get hit to Kendall. He's going to try to field this one cleanly. All the time in the world. Look at how strong this dude's arm is. Nearly overthrows Rizzo there as he gets another good out at first base. Now here he goes, 1 for 2. I told you guys, had a pretty bad first at bat, had an incredible second at bat, giving his team a 2-0 lead. Now Philadelphia scored a couple of runs of their own, making a 3-2 ball game, but look, a runner on second base, nobody out. What can you do for us here, Kendall? The first pitch is in. It's going to be right across the middle of the plate. Kendall didn't even have to move his reticle at all. Instead, he thought it was a low fastball and ended up missing on that one. 2 strikes, no balls. Don't want to choke here, Kendall. Now here comes the pitch. It's a curveball, and Kendall drills it. A no-doubt shot. What is going on? Kendall goes deep to right center field of the ballpark. This dude just has a huge love for that side of the ballpark. In his home area, this dude is going to kill it. Barrow's ERA continues to skyrocket. Was around 2, now it's way above 3. Another 2-run shot for Kendall King. This time his home run goes over 430 feet, but again, the same result, a 2 RBI shot for the Cubs. Now moving on to the field, Philadelphia did score another run to make it a 5-4 ball game, but in the top of the 7th, there's 1 out and nobody on for them. This ball's hit pretty harshly to Kendall. He's near the back of the shortstop territory. He flips over to first base, and again, this one is close, almost in the dirt, but a great scoop there by Rizzo to make sure we got the out. Now here he comes. What a ridiculous game by Kendall. 2 home runs, 4 RBIs. What can he do here in the next at-bat? Now the bottom of the 7th is a 5-4 ball game still. This time there's nobody on for him, but there are 2 outs. Kendall, can you get back on base? The first one is a high 4-seam fastball. You know, I feel like they would be a little nervous to throw those because last time they did, he drove it out of the ballpark. With a 1-1 count now with 2 outs, Kendall's waiting for the next one. It's a curveball. He golfs this one. You have got to be kidding me. 3 home runs in 1 at-bat. This one is crazy. Did you see the pitcher? The pitcher just kicked a bunch of grass. He can't believe this one comes out. A new pitcher, same result. Kendall is a man on a mission, and he is possessed. And I am shocked that Kendall just went solo dolo 401 feet on that home run to give him his 3rd of the afternoon. Now a 6-4 ball game after Kendall's solo home run. Here in the top of the 8th inning with 1 runner on and 1 out for Philadelphia, they get easily tied up with 1 swing of the at-bat. The pitch comes in. This one's going to be hit over to the second baseman. Franklin's got it. He's going to take it himself. He throws it on the run over to first base and a nice little double play. But you know what? Kendall would have loved to be involved in some of that, but still, we get the double play. And that is going to seal it. Kendall wanted 1 more shot to try and get 4 home runs in 1 ball game, but still, he got 3 home runs. And here in the NLCS in 2023, Kendall is a man possessed, and he's trying to get this team back to the World Series to win it.